Good evening, friends. Welcome to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. We're at the loading screen for the moment, but there are other things to come in between here. This is, we're at 24th of March of 2085. It will be somewhere around 3 years later before we join up. Well, this is, as first and foremost, this is the fields being manually sown and harvested by the workers being brought in on the train. It is working loudly. But yes, this is the first catastrophe where things went quite badly for us. One interesting thing to note is that it is not going, usually when it does this, it like drops to 3,000 people in like no time at all. But this time it didn't. Some people, they hung on, so to speak. And there we can notice the real-time Soviet simulator has loaded in the background. Very good. Anyway, this is what then, Oh, wait, goddammit, that's the wrong file. Yes, this is always doing great. What the hell? Yes, this was the one you were supposed to do. It's the same thing, but 2 minutes instead of 30 seconds, yes. Well, yes, no wonder it felt so goddamn rushed to have time to talk about things that were going on. There were no chance. But yeah, anyway, the gist of it is... Goddammit. Yes, pardon the slight confused interruption. Yes, pardon the slight confused start. In introduction, yes, things will only get worse from here. Yes, guaranteed. The agenda here for this evening, yes, whatever it is to, well, first of all, because this problem that soon occurs here, very soon, it starts going south. So we can look at the fields being harvested and sown manually one more time. Sown first of all. Usually that's the order. Yes, here they grow during the summer, and then at the end of summer they start harvesting and they work their way outwards to the last one. And it works. Manual labor. And that's the only thing they do out here. They only work, in spring and late summer, autumn. Rest of the year. Yes, here the problem has arisen, and it is due to nuclear fuel. Ringhals went out of nuclear fuel. So that's what we're doing this evening, is fixing the goddamn nuclear fuel. That's one thing, and then of course also the train diesel station of death and doom that has been the bane of the existence here for... There's always something with that at some point, sooner or later. Yes, so that has been redone and fixed. It's maybe a bit silly looking, but if they manage to screw this up, if the trains manage to screw this up, then I don't know what I'll do. Yes, what we're doing here, yes, we promised one thing on the agenda is solid nuclear fuel distribution. Yes, that we can rely on for at least 10 years. Yes. And, yes, that, and the other thing, this is terrible, goddammit, you can't, why even try? Put on some more music, yes, there we go, try this again, much better. Oh, the nuclear fuel, yes, I promised to perhaps break the economy of the game last time, and that's what we're preparing to do here. It doesn't go very quickly. Yes, here we can see the same thing again, but even more detailed. And this, of course, yes, the nuclear fuel situation was fixed and so on, and it continues along the history here. It is now 2087. Yes, it's half a year left until we're about to catch up. So yes, transporting all the nuclear waste that we have been piling up out here over the last 180 years or so. Yes, and sending them off on ships maybe to beyond the borders. See what happens. That's what we're preparing. It takes this little time, you know. What's one to do? It's logistics. It's and it's quite. I mean, considering the hazards involved with these logistics, I think that they're doing pretty, you know, quick on it anyway. And, so well, that's the short introduction to what's happening now. Should we go and have a look first and foremost at the goddamn train diesel station of death that has been the cause of so many problems and will not be any further cause of problems. Where are you? Here it is. The train diesel station S. It now has, instead of an incredibly, insanely complicated thing that did not work, switch, it has a roundabout sort of. Yes. The way it works is very simple. They go around and around until they get to the point where they need to get to, and if they need to refuel, either if they are coming in from here or coming in from here, that should not be a problem because they will go here one way and then if they then need to go back, yes, they can get out here and get back onto the roundabout and continue on their business. There isn't one arrow pointing the wrong way, I hope, because if there would be that would mean But this has been like this for a year or so now, and there isn't a single train around, which either means it works perfectly, or it means that something is terribly broken somewhere else. But knock on wood, the trains have behaved recently quite well, actually. So, I don't know, I knock on wood, and so on, many times over. Yes, and so for the nuclear, how are we doing here with the nuclear waste? Go and have a look. We haven't quite filled you up yet, but we have one tanker that is completely filled with nuclear waste, and this tanker, that would be something if we could somehow, you know, get into the bulk here and then just send it, you know, float it off out there. That would be something, but we can't do that. So we have to do this instead. Okay, that's the level you're getting to, and that's that we're a bit of a ways off. Yes. I think the bottleneck is in the transportation. The bottleneck, yes. I think so. We have a little bit of waste waiting here. And there are two trains going back and forth, but you know, it is a bit of a distance. It is all the way from down here to up there, which is a rail line or something like that is about the route. And there's lots of traffic and things. Yes, the population is actually quite all right and quite stable. You know, quite good. And this town is now then 3 years old, or 4 even, maybe, before the first people moved in. How have they fared? You see, this building regrettably was without electricity for a long time due to a slight oversight. So that has quite low amount of people living in it. Now the other ones here are... April, you ought to be... you're waiting at the station. I wonder... I always have had the feeling that there ought to be more people. But the thing is that if it is the season, it's sort of all except one building go to work here first. If it is the season, we want as many people as possible on these trains. Not that it's a problem because they made it in time and everything, yes, but still, I would prefer it if the trains would be as full as possible. As you are still unspecified, you do what you think best. Indeed. Okay, this seems alright. Seem to be no patients, no nothing. Quite a few patients. This place polluted or something, what the hell? Why is this, or isn't the health good? Well, we have this now. The health is excellent. Yes. It's all great. But yes, we're still going to build a pollution monitoring station though, right next to the pub. Where I promise you it can be built due to infrastructure. Told you. As in this, seriously, I'm turning this down to regular setting now because it is ridiculous, is what it is. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Maybe we should do... was it 63? As the regular fires, because this is, I mean, this is just ridiculous. And it's not that the things are burning down, it's just incredibly annoying. At least for the time being. I'll set it to that, yes. Well, every now and then the thing burns down. It happens, and it catches you know, any mistakes or any holes that you have in your fire protection thing. Right. Anyway, this will continue now for we don't know how long, but as we saw here, there was a lot of things to do. There's also we need to get better beer logistics, and the nuclear fuel. What I'm thinking, that the plans for the nuclear fuel is all the way on the other side of the world. Here. As this place has always been, you know, where we kept the waste, it will instead be where we keep the fuel from now on, and the waste system, nuclear waste system, and these will be destroyed even when they're finished. Moving all the scrap out of here. You're not living empty, are you? No. You're all working. Yes. Destroy these and realign them somehow, and also get rail in here. What was maybe a bit of a fantasy land idea. Well, you know, one crazy shunting bit there, and then a whole lots of queuing space, a tunnel. Let's just see about the feasibility of this here tunnel. First of all, it is quite long. It will be a while to build, I would assume. Could we get the screen? Thank you. I got the screen back. Railway tunnel. Yes, and the important bit, we must have as much space as possible on the other side. About there, as the road will later have to be changed. You know, the feasibility of that is not bad at all. You know what we could have absolutely no queuing space on the other side at all, and just have that as one entire block with all possible destinations. Yes. I mean, now you're thinking ahead. This is That's impressive, isn't it? And where we want this a little bit zany chanting thing to happen. Yes, we want to come off about this one. It's the one that we'll use, but where? Here. Yes. This is if you want to get to... This is for very special trains only. For the very restricted, very hazardous area where we kept our nuclear waste for about 180 years until we finally decided to just send it off to the foreigners and let them deal with it. We have the money and we have to pay for it. We have enough of their money to pay for it, you know, so, as they call it, pay for it. But I'm not exactly clear on the concept of such things, but it is their numbers, and I think their numbers will add up with mine in such a way that I will get rid of the problem. Nuclear waste problem will no longer be a problem, and also has the potential to do something maybe to the world economy. I don't know. It might do something. I don't know. It might drive the prices up on nuclear waste, or the prices down, however we should put it, on nuclear waste quite a bit. Yeah, and this. Since we are doing this at some point, yes, you might as well get started on it. And this is a great tip. Yes, when we are so late game, as this is ridiculously late game, and there is a slideshow, pausing while doing this stuff actually does quite a bit. Look, yes, it does a lot of difference. Not to that bit though. This is still very complicated. Somehow, or yeah, it just is, you know. But anyway, come on, about there. Careful, and so on. Maybe it would have made more sense to take the other track. And I think we'll join up about here as that. That's the yes, lovely spot for it. Very much. So yes, there we go. And then we need to semaphore this up in order for construction to be able to begin and also continue without severely breaking the logistical system and backbone of the country. Here we have a very large rail construction office. And I think that if we assign you to do this, all things will go well. So that's future plans for handling nuclear fuel is what we'll have here instead of the waste. And this place is so irradiated that it is really off the charts, but it's still. Yes, we're back to old safety limits here after the fire. Things got back down, so as long as you're behind this line, yes, you're completely fine. Otherwise, you're completely dead. So don't go there. We advise against regularly. Also, I take responsibility because this is my residence. Yes, this is my third house. The other two have burnt down. But yes, I think arsonists. I also burned down a great tower I built out here. God damn it. Yes, anyway, so nuclear fuel will be stored here and brought in and out in some fashion or other. Then for nuclear waste, I'm thinking of continuing this concept of the thing about pausing the game though whilst laying in infrastructure and so to get the performance up just a tad bit. Yes. The thing is just to remember to unpause the game after you've done that. Okay, how far have you gotten on this? Not completely full jet, but jet? No, we don't have a jet for this. We have... You are heading here, you're completely fully loaded. What is the cost to get rid of you currently? 74 million. I mean, that sounds really cheap. Regrettably, it doesn't sum up the value for the ships for some reason. So we don't know, but I think a way to figure out would be to look here. Resource status within 2 kilometers, nuclear waste, 2 billion. 2 billion? Yes, I have 44 billion. Okay, that's not a problem then, that we need to worry about, if it's that cheap to get rid of. But what I was thinking is we should get a harbor somewhere, safely and also accessible by good rail, and also within construction range of current things, and also a bit safely hidden away here from things, where we will handle the nuclear fuel or nuclear waste from now on, and getting rid of it. Yes. Now here I think that it's also a case of where we can benefit from having a bit of pause to the game. But oh goddammit, that's very, very... Yes, you see, the thing here is that this canal is not really naturally or generated by the game's built-in functions, so to speak. Because it is... when this map was originally generated, no such thing as connecting a river or a system did exist. That's the completely wrong tool for the job. But we'd rather we try and get something sort of straight to the coast, first and foremost, to form a coast. Yes. Form a somewhat straight coastline. Because these harbors are really, really, really finicky, with their tolerances and so on. Yes. Oh, no. That's a bit more than me. And that's a bit more than we need the other way. That's a good thing that we have basically unlimited amount of money by this at this point, even though we have not even made an effort to sell anything. Yes, anyway, here there will be a cargo harbor. That's it. Yes, things will continue. There should be something to click. Feel free to continue. Otherwise, that is the overview of the progress of den traditionella bondedemokratin for now. Cheers!